Hello YouTube, I'm Andrew Does Hair. You can find my work on Instagram at Andrew Does Hair. This is my model, Austin. This is my second time cutting his hair. You might remember him from a video I did a few months ago about how to quit getting fades. So Austin is growing his hair out. He's always gotten fades, and we're kind of helping him gracefully get to a hairstyle that does not involve a fade. So a big part of the process is bringing in inspiration photos, long-term goals. That's going to tell us a lot about what we can do along the way to keep his hair managed as it grows out longer. The name of the game today is essentially kind of the same thing as last time. We're going to be redistributing weight on the haircut to keep it nice feeling as it gets longer. One of the things that can make a short haircut feel really bad as it grows out is like the shape of a traditional short haircut is long on top, short on the bottom. And as that grows out, it can start to feel like a bowl or a mushroom, especially if you're continuing to taper it and keep the sideburns cleaned up. As the top gets longer, it piles up, it feels like a bowl. So what we're going to do as the bottom of the haircut becomes longer is we're going to keep taking that weight line around the parietal ridge and pushing it up. It's going to change the angle of our haircut here, and it's going to drastically change how the haircut works. So what we're left with from the last time we cut his hair is this graduated shape, which is longer on top and shorter on the bottom, which it was not as hardcore graduated as it was when it was a fade, but we were slowly stepping away from there. And what we're able to achieve today is an angle that is layered, which is the same length from the top to the bottom. And what this is going to give us as the hair lays flat against the head is a much like sleeker, flatter silhouette. It's not going to push out like a bowl cut anymore. This is going to make the hair grow back a whole lot more nicely. You can see right away that it's like not piling up on the sides of his head. It makes his head look slimmer. So it sounds almost backward. Like if you're growing your hair out, it has to get bigger and puffier along the way. Well, not if you layer it. And you know, it's not like at some point, probably at about the point that his hair is right now, you don't want to keep going shorter on top and letting the bottom grow longer unless you're going for like a shag shape. But with this just basic square layered haircut, this is a really nice classic shape that'll grow out into various styles that are going to be very nice and easy to live with and look cool. And so like we're not going so far into the inverse of a graduated haircut into a layered haircut to the point that he's going to look like, you know, Oasis or something. But we are reducing the weight at the top of the haircut as the bottom becomes longer. We'll make any adjustments as needed on future visits. So now that everything's been shaped up, we're going to blow dry it. And as with any blow dry, you rough dry and then you go back with a brush and start to smooth it out, because this is going to show us more imperfections in the haircut. When everything's flat wrapped like this, you could see every single tiny chop and error. And so I like to get the hair really flat and smooth before I start refining it. So here I'm not taking a lot off. I'm probably just going to dust the ends of everything. He did bleach his hair, as you can see, which does cause a little bit of damage. And we're just going to dust the ends to make sure everything's healthy as it grows out. Seems counterintuitive if you're growing your hair out to trim a tiny bit off, but if you look, I'm barely taking anything off. I'm just like, you might even say pretending to cut the hair. I'm not changing it right now. I'm just cleaning it up. So I want to do this basically all the way around the back. Anywhere I see heavy spots or like pieces that are particularly frizzy or potentially damaged. Not that, you know, I'm not saying his color has damaged his hair here. Like, honestly, I don't know anything about color. But I almost never see bleached hair that doesn't need the ends trimmed a tiny little bit. Now around the back here, I want to keep letting some of this go to just see where it goes. I don't want to keep tapering them up because then it'll never grow out. So what I want to do is get rid of the neck hair and then just kind of like freehand sculpt the back to something that looks nice. There's not really any rules to this. It's like, I don't want it so clean that it looks like you just left the barber shop, but I don't want to leave it looking like he never got a haircut. And so with the texturizing scissor, I'm going to go in here and just kind of soften up the edges, and anything that looks too heavy or too scraggly, I'll just knock it off a little bit. So while I was styling his hair, he mentioned that it feels really tall. He's like, oh, dude, I'm not used to having it this big. So as you grow your hair out, like that's a common feeling. You're like, dude, I'm not used to my hair being so big and so long. However, it's important if you feel like that, look at your hair from the side, because from the side, you can see why that shape is there. Like this haircut is so freaking shapely and so suited on his head compared to what he had when I met him. Not putting his previous barber on blast, but again, when you have a very short haircut that's like shorter on the bottom and longer on the top, you're building weight all around the head. And by layering it, you're reducing that weight or pushing it up above the widest part of the head.